So, let's talk about this whole tribalism when it comes to the wrestling fan base. And let's be honest as to what I believe it really is. It's nothing more than a bunch of trolls. Just like the kind of trolls you find on YouTube, social media, anywhere. Basically, that's the kind of fans we're dealing with. They're not real legit fans. And if they are, they're just using their fandom to basically troll everybody else to see, how serious they might take, wrestling, depending on what they're covering as far as pro wrestling is concerned. That's what you're dealing with here. You're not dealing with somebody that's pro WWE all the way, or pro AEW all the way, or pro New Japan all the way, or pro TNA, pro MLW, pro Rev Pro, and all that. You're not dealing, with those kind of people. What you're dealing with is just a bunch of people that are trolling. That's what it is. People that like to take, let's say what you mention on social media, and mince it around to make it sound like something that you didn't mean to say. And that's all because they want to get a reaction out of you. And to me, for people to label these kind of fans as tribalistic, that is exactly what they want you to believe. They're not real tribalistic fans. They're not pro, one promotion over the other. They're nothing but a bunch of trolls. And I would not be surprised if some of these trolls have multiple accounts out there on social media acting like they're pro WWE, and then at the same time they act like they're pro AEW. I would not be surprised if that's the case. And you know why? Because of the fact that they know that if they say they're pro WWE on one account, but then say they're pro AEW on another, they know they'll get a rise out of folks. They know that they'll get people's, attention. That's what they'll do. They'll get a rise out of them, they'll get their attention, and they'll get them talking. Why do you think when people like JD from NY206 goes live online, with a live stream where he reviews Dynamite, or he does a live off the script, episode, or he does a collab with Andrew Baydella on Tuesday Night Titans, or, speaking of Dynamite, he, collabs and does a review with Heel Jesse. Why do you think people go into his live chat and start spamming? Why do you think they spam and say things like, oh, well, Mercedes being in AEW is a bad idea, da, 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 and they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And they're using wordage that doesn't sound like real people. Why do you think they do that? Because they're trolls. They're not tribalistic, they're trolls. That's what they are. And what's crazy about this? Excuse me there. But what's crazy about this? Is they know how to get under people's skin. They know. They are succeeding in getting under people's skin in how they present themselves. They'll take something like what Alex Hicks, just Alex, of Alex's World on here on YouTube and social media. They'll take what he says in a YouTube video, a live stream, or what he says on social media, and they'll mince it together and make it sound like it's something it wasn't. All because they want to get a rise out of him. And they say they're doing it because, oh, well, Mercedes or so-and-so should have stayed in WWE, the WWE for lifers. But then on the other hand, they could be the same person that has another account, like I mentioned earlier, that says, oh, well, so-and-so, Cody Rhodes, he's a AEW trainer, da 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 da. They do all this to get a rise. That's what they do, guys. That's what they do. They do it to get a rise out of folks. That's what they do. They get a rise out of you. They'll get a rise out of me if it gets under my skin. That's what it's all about. It's not about being pro WWE or pro AEW. It's not about tribalism here, tribalism there. No! What it is at the end of the day is a bunch of trolls. That's what it is. It's a bunch of trolls that know how to get under certain people's skin, and it is just a shameful act that is being witnessed. And what's crazy is a lot of people, like I mentioned moments ago, are falling for it because it's succeeding and they're taking the bait, causing it to succeed. That's what it is. And what people need to do that cover wrestling, as a living or a partial living, on platforms like YouTube and Spotify and Rumble and Twitch and wherever. What they need to do, in all honesty, what they need to do is ignore it. They need to ignore it, if you will. Because the more you feed into it, the more you're giving them what they want. And and basically, if it sounds familiar, what I'm saying, it's because that's the same, adjective that's used when it comes to trolls on the internet. Because that is what you're dealing with. You are dealing with nothing but trolls. That's what it is. That's what it is. So here's my thing. When you go and you look online and somebody's acting pro, WWE and trying to slander Mercedes' debut last night on Dynamite, or they're trying to slander, Andrade going back to WWE, I want you to take a look at the wording. Look at the wording and say to yourself, and think to yourself, wait a minute. This doesn't sound like a Tribalistic pro WWE or Tribalistic pro AEW fan. This sounds like a troll. Because that's what it is. That's what it is. At the end of the day, that's what it is. It is nothing more than a troll. That's what these Tribalistic, fans are. And again, like I said, I would not be surprised if these fans have multiple accounts pretending to be pro WWE on one and pro AEW on another just to get a rise out of folks. That's what they are. That's what they are. So my suggestion to those that I follow and you follow, like Alex Hicks of Just Alex, of JD of JD from NY206, Solomonster of Solomonster Sounds Off, Greg Morgan of Good Mic Work, my suggestion to them and anybody else, Heel Jesse, Andrew Baydella, my suggestion to you guys above anything else is don't take what these tribalistic quote-unquote fans say, because at the end of the day, what they really are is nothing but a bunch of trolls. That's what they are. They're the trolls they're the kind of trolls that you see on the internet that try to bully people into siding with them or admitting something that's not true because they get a kick and a rise out of it. That's what it is at the end of the day. That's what they are at the end of the day. So if I'm you guys, and I'm anybody else that talks about wrestling for a living on all these social media platforms or for a partial living, my suggestion, my advice to you, do not take any of what you're seeing from these quote-unquote tribalistic fans seriously. Because what they really are at the end of the day, is nothing more than a bunch of trolls. The same kind of trolls you find here on the internet every day that try to basically bring you down. That's what they are. Nothing more. Nothing more. You could say, oh, here come the tribalistic fans trying to, shit on this or shit on that. Don't fall for that. Don't fall for that. Basically look at what they're saying, look at the wording used, look at the verbiage, I should say, and realize, oh, it's just a bunch of trolls. And don't be surprised, like I mentioned, if some of these trolls have one account, or multiple accounts, I should say, all across these social media platforms, posing as pro AEW, pro WWE, and so on, because they want to try to get a rise out of folks. And they're the kind of folks, the kind of trolls, I should say, that take what people say and mince it. So don't fall for it.